This should be Sataria's favorite fortune-telling spot. So should we ask the fortune? No, I already have enough talking style and...
My poor lost lambs. Have you become troubled over the divine voice of wisdom?
Huh? Really?
Shh. Of course, of course. It would seem that Harut and Marut are quite wary of you.
Only mocking the god of Animo, questioning the lord of Geo's financial savviness, and brawling with the god of Electro. Do those count?
Oh, nothing. Go on, pick an aspect for her to divine.
Love prospects? The gods, one who is fated to cross your path, will appear on... Huh? So many people will fall for you. How could that be? Harut, Marut, did you two spoil my divination? I've never read a fortune so absurd.
Actually, Paimon thinks this is probably the most accurate fortune-telling you've ever done.
I admit that the orientation of today's celestial...
Is that so? Well, that can't be helped.
If you were to bring some food offerings for Harut and Marut on your next visit, perhaps they could help you...
Is this another one of Satar? Yep. It belongs to a king. His fault when I start talking with him.
Ah, dear customers. Would you like to look at some pottery?
We caught wind of your great craftsmanship, so we...
Oh, I recognize you. Aren't you Miss Catherine from the Adventurers Guild?
Speaking of, where did you learn this trait?
I suppose you could say it all started with my dad. After that, I began making pottery by my...
That's nice. You're making a living doing something you love.
So is your...
Oh, no, not anymore. A few years back, he fell from a roof and broke his leg.
I see. We wish him peace and happiness in his retirement. I'll have someone in charge of logistics at the guild come by another day for...
No problem. Rest easy.
This should be our final stop. Sataria's always thinking of this rest. Nahida, you've really thought of it. It's my duty to protect sumeru's citizens, after all.
Hi there. I feel like I've seen you down by the docks before.
Huh? Sorry, I don't quite remember.
If I recall, you were having a discussion with someone about shipbuilding.
Ah, that's right! I've always been really interested. After all, I grew up in Liyue Harbor and spent my entire childhood staring at the ships going in and out of the port. I came to Sumeru, but I'm still discussing all kinds of problems with different scholars. And I'm continuing to study and...
What an admirable spirit for learning! Amazing!
Sure.
So this restaurant has a basement as well? Huh. First I've heard.
That's right. It's not usually open to patrons. Most of the time, employees use it for...
I see. Yes, that makes sense. Well, good luck with...
Thank you so much. As long...
So, was that everybody? 3 familiar... what's the point of all the information? Sataria's already used to avoiding her problems. So we must find a... I remember that you mentioned that the Eremites in Port Ormos are all making a fuss about the upcoming resurrection of the Scarlet King. Although it's all just a boatload of nonsense, the faith of her home... Oh, Paimon gets it now! Although she knows she should return home to help the people of the desert, all she's done is conspire with the sages. Well, the Scarlet King is long gone, And Sitaria is also too smart if we simply engaged her under the guise of the Scarlet King's believer. But if we were to borrow some of her close...
So, you mean you're going to
Yep. Possess them through the Akasha. Imply that they've already As long as everything goes smoothly, we'll get through to Sitaria for sure. She'll never guess that we had anything...
So that's how you're going to use all the info we collected on these people. It's so that you won't
Exactly. So,
Best of luck! But we don't know how to possess any...
That's no problem at all. I'll just share all their senses with you once I've possessed them. As long as you're also wearing an Akasha term.
That is pretty convenient. But why does...
Although I've been observing humans for a while, I've never been good at imitating them.
You're not wrong. It's always been painfully obvious.
If it was at all possible.
Yeah, don't beat yourself up over it.
All right, then.
So this is a day in the life of the traveler. I'm learning more about you all the time.
Here she comes. Sitaria's here! Let's quietly follow her. Once she starts talking to her acquaintances, as for how we'll sway her to our side, I'll leave that to you.
Paimon's starting to feel... Looks like they've already started talking. Let's find a hiding spot and get...
That's right. You really can't force anything when it comes to love. And besides, everyone around me has a very different background and outlook. Are you still listening to me, Nabia?
Oh, of course I'm listening. You were talking about troubles with your...
Okay then. You just seemed a little distracted for a moment. Strange. Your cats seem pretty worked up. I always thought they were quiet, happy kitties. Oh, what are their names again? Ah, that's right. They are just little darlings, aren't they? Harut and Marut.
So, which fortune do you want me to read for you today?
I'd like to get another reading on my love prospects, but to be perfectly honest with you, I feel like I've been a real mess recently.
A mess?
Well, could you do a reading on how long it'll take me to finish my current project at work? I really just want to get it over with.
I hear you. No problem at all. The gods are asking, Sitaria, why haven't you gone home?
Why haven't I gone home?
Sitaria, why don't you just go home? It's a demand now instead of a question.
I'm sorry. I know I failed the god. And if I may ask, Nabia, is there a specific god who's speaking to you right now?
What an inconsiderate and naive question. The god who is speaking to me is, of course, the wisest and mightiest of all, the Scarlet King.
The Scarlet King? No wonder he would make such a demand of me. Even though news of the Scarlet King's resurrection has been spreading like wildfire, it's all just a misinformation campaign from the academia. How can the Scarlet King still exist in real life?
What insolence! I am the Scarlet King's most loyal believer.
Oh, no. As a child of the desert, I am only reveling in his power upon learning that his divine glory has touched even this city. I will think very carefully about his demand of me. I'm sorry. I must go now.
Wait!
Whoa, she just ran off in a hurry. Well done. Sataria didn't seem to suspect anything amiss. To have something she's been trying desperately to avoid show up out of nowhere and berate her, that must have shaken her to the core. Aw, Nahida, it's... All I know are some abstract Harabata theories. Anyway, enough of that. He's out of Keem's now, right on cue. Let's get ready to possess him right away!
It's okay. I just got caught up in something. Oh, actually, didn't you ask me to help you look for work? What kind of work were you looking for again? Oh, right. You're all... Speaking of, how's he doing? Is he feeling any better? Oh, that's good to hear. I have been thinking a lot about... Actually, while we're talking about him, is he still living?
Yeah, he's been retired there for a...
If you could find the time, please write him a letter. Please pass on that recently, faith in the Scarlet King has taken root in Port Ormos. He has a quick temper, and has always been a devout follower of the Dendro Archon. I don't want him to get into a fight with those Scarlet King believers.
Oh? So, who are you siding? I'm so jealous of you. You were born a child of the desert, yet you chose to betray the Scarlet King, and now you spend all your time with those crooks.
Akeem! You don't mean... You've also become a believer of the Scarlet...
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise Scarlet King? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one...
Can't pick a side? Me?
Whoa, Paimon had no idea you'd be so good at this. You really zeroed in on the issue and put it right in front of her. But once everything is over, I'll be sure to pay her a visit to her mind and explain everything. Come on! Sataria's already started talking with Shisha.
So, Shishan, as if someone was trying to preach to you about something?
Oh, right. Speaking of strange thing, I celebrated the Sub-Zerus festival so many times that I lost count.
Wait, how could you be aware of that? That should be impossible. Nothing in the report indicated anything like that.
Are you still failing to realize that the Academia's lowly...
Shishan, don't tell me that you've converted to the Scarlet King as well!
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for becoming a believer of the Scarlet King. In reality, shouldn't you be the one who is ashamed? You, who works side by side.
Please stop!
Even now, Sataria's still trying to run from her problems. She can no longer justify everything to her. Hey, she's trying to talk to the guards! What should we do? This is the most important part of all. Quick, get ready.
Mercenary, you're a member of the Corps of 30, correct? Please help me pass a message to the Matra right away. The situation in the city is getting out of control.
Please, try to remain calm, miss. Tell me what's happening in the city.
Heretics are infiltrating the city, and they've already converted many residents to their side.
Heretics? What kind of heresy are you talking about?
The Scarlet King! Many people I know have suddenly started believing in him, but he's long dead. It's impossible.
Miss Sataria, nothing.
You know my name?
The Scarlet King is immortal, and all who defy him will one day pay the price. You must face the truth, Sataria. You tread a treacherous path, and the longer you ignore it, the tighter the Academia's grasp on you will become, and the deeper you will be ensnared. Child of the Scarlet King, never forget that the desert that belongs to you lies elsewhere.
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise Scarlet King? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still can't pick a side?
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for becoming a believer of the Scarlet King.
Sataria, why haven't you gone home?
Seems that no matter where I run, I only keep finding more I've also been running from my guilt this whole time. Guilt over my part in this but no matter how much I may try to ignore or get rid of it, my guilt always comes back.
You won't necessarily lose your research opportunities by facing the truth. Besides, did you really want to conduct your research while...
How do you know me so well? Are you truly just a believer of the Scarlet King?
That's not important. The important thing is to pass judgment on the Academia and its sages, and to correct them. If you could provide some assistance in this matter, perhaps it could serve as a form of atonement.
I've actually never believed in the gods, but I've always believed in serendipity. Your appearance must be a fated up. Please tell me, what can I do for you?
How much do you know about the sages' current activities?
I was just one of the designers for the massed dream harvest scheme, which is what happened around the Sumeru's festival. But I know very little about the full scope of the overall project. I'd assume that only staff with the highest clear. I've just been working to meet the Grand Sage's specified requirements. However, there's something that's been really bothering me. I heard that a scholar who was previously expelled has returned to the city, and even the sages are...
To fight against the Academia, we will need to figure out the nature and the purpose of their work. Is there a way...
It should be possible if we're willing to take some risks. After all, I'm an assistant to the Grand Sage, and I've been working on... One thing, though. I won't be able to transfer the documents to you through the Akasha once I get my hands on them. The sages have always... let me see... let's use the most primitive method.
The Academia entrance.
Don't worry about that. I'm only suggesting this location because it'll draw more scrutiny for me to leave the Academia again. It'll be safest for me to distract the guards long enough to...
All right, I trust.
So,
that'll depend on the judgment of the Dendro Archon.
The Dendro Archon. That's right. Her people are the ones we have endangered. As the god of wisdom, maybe it's time for me to find a god to believe in.
Just as Nahida predicted, we've managed to prove the Traveler's execution was ingenious. Well, now that we've made plans to meet again tomorrow evening... Pray? But if we're going to pray to the gods, aren't we just praying to you? God... No. The truth is the true guardian of Scholar.